Hi you guys, it's Stephanie with Coffee Paper Scissors. I am going to start working on decorating some of the signature that we put together the other day. I do not think that I've done anything else other than when we stopped, I hadn't sewn around and attached that. Otherwise, it's all still the same. Alrighty, I have some images that I found on Etsy, train images. And I haven't printed everything out, so I can't just like go through and show you all of the things because I'm waiting to print them until I know where I'm going to use them so that I'm printing them the size that I want them to be. But as we go through and the printed images that you'll see that are train related, I found on one guy's in one guy's shop, and I will link those below in case you're interested and you want to go over and see what he has to offer. So I am making just a little flip out to add right here. If you remember the other day, we created a pocket with this envelope. And I am just adding this to give it a little bit more interest, and you know, you can write on the back side. I'm not sure if I'll add anything here. I may or may not, I don't know. If I do though, it would probably be something that lifts. I don't know that I want to attach anything because I like the paper. Okay, so like I said, that's a pocket there. Actually, I want to use my other glue. And so I'm going to add my glue right here. So how is everyone doing? We're doing fine here. We're all healthy. Nothing much going on. Haven't left the house in several days. I do need to go buy some groceries. My daughter, just a little while ago, she was standing in front of the refrigerator and she says, "It's looking pretty empty, Mom." Like, I know. Of course, if I went to the store, I don't know what I would buy. So, except for milk. I don't know. I have eggs. I don't know. What do you put in a fridge? What are those things for? Okay, so that just flips out here. And then, okay, so in the next bit, I want to go ahead and make, you know, something to put inside of this pocket. I have decided that I want this to be closed off. And I had left it so that it would be sort of like a giant belly band kind of a thing, but I don't want that. I decided I want it to close because I don't want whatever's put inside of the pocket to slide around as much as it would if it was left open. So we just add a little glue there, and while that is drying, the image that I found for this, so it's this train image, very cute, and I'm going to back it. I'm going to do a little inking so it pops off the page just a little bit. Yeah, we're having more gray weather. It's been pretty uneventful. I mean, I guess I'm happy that we're not having tons of snow, but some sunshine would be nice. Every now and then we get just a little peak, but then it goes away. So we're having just cold gray days, about 30 to 35 degrees. So I am going to make this about 6 1/4, I think. Let's see. And then 5.5 maybe. So I think what I want to do is cut. It'll be easier for me to work with this if I just cut it out instead of try and cut it from, I'm going to cut it, you know, where the automatic fold thingies are. I just don't want to mess with those. 5.5, I think. I'm thinking I'm going to use part of this. Or maybe I could just not think so much about it and go from scratch. I have measurements over here and I'm just thinking, trying to figure out if I really think they're gonna work the way I want them to. I think so. So we're gonna do that. And I say I want to make like a little file folder notch type thing at the top. Just under 6 3/4. We'll go right around there. Okay, I hope I got this right. Because when you're adding the little tab thing, you know, for like the file folder tab, you're actually going to remove some. And so I'm just hoping I didn't remove too much. I think we're going to go around there. And then maybe around there. Get that out of the way. And then I think I showed you this before. I just put my the little cutter where the notch is. I just get it in there. Make sure it's in there good. And that's how I cut it. And then this one I'll just kind of, and it like goes loose, it's slack, and so then I know I'm there. Okay. And we're gonna round the corners. I can't really get to that one, so I'm gonna round the corner with my scissor. Close enough. If I try to fix it, and then I'll ruin it. So I've learned when it's close enough, when I'm doing a corner with scissors, I leave it. All right, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down. So here it fits all the way around, and then I've got the thing there. Okay. I'm going to stitch around this. And so I'm gonna get it all glued down so that the glue can start drying, so I'm not putting, you know, glue through the sewing machine too much. I think I need to clean my sewing machine. I need to look up, see how to do that. I think it needs a new needle too. I don't know. It needs to have somebody look at it, just like give it a nice little refreshing, but I can't take it somewhere and have somebody look at it because I'm ashamed to tell them that I sew paper with it. So I have to figure out how to do it by myself. They'll be like, I'm not gonna fix it if that's all you're doing with it. No, I'm sure they wouldn't know if you're paying them. I made a little label to go right here. I just used some of my scrap paper, and then I bought this number stampy thingy at the thrift store the other day, and I didn't know for sure how it was going to work. So it's one of these things. Look at how much the original price. and I'm sure it was quite a while ago. That's stinking expensive. So it's one of these, and I didn't know for sure how it worked, but there's a little ink pad in it, and I have to buy ink to ink it up. It's really dry. So I just stamped down on one of my own ink pads, and I just, you know, used the numbers that were just kind of already in there. I thought that was close enough. I have to figure out how to switch the numbers. It's not very self-explanatory. I read the directions, and I really couldn't figure it out. It said to use the wooden something or other that was in it in the package, but you know, there was no wooden something or other in the package because I bought it used. I actually brought a wet wipe this time and a dry wipe so I can clean up my messes. All right, let's ink around it. I try and straighten out the cut edge with my fingernail. It gives that little folded over cut edge on the paper trimmer if you use the kind I have. And the ink doesn't seem to go on. It kind of just gets caught on the edge and stops. So I try and level it out with my fingernail. Let that dry just a little bit more. All right. Oh, it's going to be going in here. And so it's now stopping at a good place because of adding the glue back over here. So I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. I looked and looked and looked at this, and I decided that I don't like this. And so I've got some scraps. Well, let's see what I have over here. This paper, some of this paper that artists sent me. This paper is, oh gosh, I hate to use the part with the map on it. It is so fragile that just picking it up, it starts to tear. Maybe I'll do this. This is really cute. That might be fun attached to a, but see, it's just like, it's totally coming apart. But I just want to add it up here. I'm going to cover it. And I am terrible at knowing where to use a tear ruler, like where to position it so that things tear the way I want them to. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. And I also don't have a tear ruler. I'm just using this. This doesn't really require a tear ruler so much. Oh well. I just want to make sure I've got enough. So I need to go to about this line. I mean, look at how easy that tears. It's almost like tissue paper. Okay, and then I'm going to line it up on this side. So this and this. The reason I'm doing it this way is because my cutter will not cut through this paper. It'll just, like, you know, scrunch it up. So I thought I would do it this way. There's just a tiny little little bit that's going to be hanging over. I think I'm going to cut it off of this side. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit more. What I'm going to be doing, oh shoot, the image, I left it. I'm going to have to run into the kitchen real quick to find the other image that I forgot to bring in here. All right, and there's a slight amount hanging off the top as well. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. All right, I'm going to ink around it with a little bit, just a little bit. Just being very careful because, like I say, it's so fragile. I don't need to get in there. I didn't realize until I started trying to work with the railroad book that I bought that it had a smell. And, you know, I was very frustrated. I was like, oh no. Well, so I tried figuring out what to do for sure. And I actually cut out the images and put them in a bag with baking soda and just let them sit and sit. And then I took them back out, cut out the images that I liked. And you know, that book smells that they get sometimes, it was really kind of overwhelming. And I thought, well, shoot. And then I, you know, cut out the ones I wanted. And I put fabric softener sheets in between them. And you guys, it actually has worked. So that's an idea. If you guys come across a book that you have and you're like, I wanted to use this, but now I can't, cut out the pictures that you like, get rid of the rest of it, and put the pictures in between fabric softener sheets, and the smell goes away. I am going to run into the kitchen really quick. I am so sorry. Okay, I'm back. Would you believe the picture that I want is right on top? That's great. So I have my stack of images and they're just sitting with fabric softener sheets in between them. And so then I've been checking them to make sure that the smell is really gone, and it is. So, and it doesn't, I didn't know for sure if it would do something to the image, the fabric softener sheet, but it hasn't. It's just fine. So a little tip if that happens to you guys, because what a bummer, you know? I mean, so many times you go to a thrift store, and thrift stores don't have the best smell. I'm just being honest. And so you can't tell, you know, if you stick your nose in a book, you're like, well, everything in here smells bad. So I don't know if it's the book or what. So, but I will definitely be more careful because it's been quite a process. It has taken actually a really long time to try and figure out what to do. You know, I'm looking at things online for tips on how to take care of it. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of layering up on this. I'm going to back this. We're going to make a long pocket with it. So let me get a piece of paper. I have a whole pack of copy paper that is sort of too thin. And so I use it a lot of times to stamp things off or to back something. And I just don't feel like maybe this is sturdy enough to be a pocket on its own. So we're going to mostly use Fabri-Tac because I think that the picture, this kind of paper might get that, you know, bubbly glue effect. But I'm gonna stay in a little bit away from the stitching area because I feel like Fabri-Tac always stays kind of odd textured. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm gonna put regular glue around the edge. And we're gonna sit and let it dry while we stitch the other one. Oopsie. My daughter is looking at colleges and I don't know. I mean, I kind of have an opinion on where I want her to go, but not because I have like a predisposition towards a certain school or anything. I'm not concerned about that kind of thing. But I don't want her to be so far away from me, you know? I want her to be far enough away that she feels like she's not at home, but not so far away that she feels like it's hard to come home when she wants to. So one school, well, the school that I went to is 3 hours away from here, which I think is good. You know, that's plenty far away to feel like you're away from home. But I don't know if she's going to like it, if it's going to be different enough for her to feel like she's doing, you know, like some adventure. And I totally get that. But the one that she's more interested in is like 6 hours away. And I'm like, no, but of course I'm not telling her that. She's going to make the decision on her own. But she came to me last night and told me there's an open house at the one that I went to that's 3 hours away. An open house, a tour, I don't know what you call it, a tour. So I was like, oh, I was hiding my excitement, you know. I was like, oh, okay. Did you want to go and do that? She's like, yeah. And I said, okay. So we signed up to do the tour in a couple of weekends so she can go to the campus and see what it's like. I mean, there's another school just 45 minutes away, but, you know, that's not far enough. And I don't blame her. She wants to be like feeling like she's on her own and stuff. All right, we're going to let that dry. I'm just going to sit it out of the way here. Put this ruler away. And then we're going to sew this. So you guys can do a little fast forwarding if you want. Sorry about the wiggle, but I gotta do it. I gotta do it. So let's see. All right. Let me see. I'm gonna start right around here. And I kind of go slow when I'm doing this because, as I said, I think I need to clean my sewing machine because it seems to want to skip a stitch if I go too fast. So I don't know what's wrong with it. So it does have a faster speed, but I don't know. I'm not saying much in case people are just fast forwarding through here. If I say anything important, they're probably going to miss it anyway. Always trying to figure out the best way to go around these corners. Almost done. Yeah, I just goofed that one up. I don't think that's going to be good. That's all right. And then I just kind of overlap it a little bit. Get this out of the way. We're going to wait to sew the other one till it dries just a little bit. All right. So yeah, I would be very excited if my daughter decided to go there. Not because I went there. That doesn't make any difference to me or anything like that. But it would be closer to me. All right, so there's that. And then on this side, so we're going to be adding this, but not quite yet. What else do we have? I found this image. Also, it's in the set that I bought. And I am just going to do a little inking around it. I haven't gotten my walnut distress ink stain yet. I do have the distress refresher stuff, not the ink refill, but it's like a bottle that says it's a refresher. And I did put some of that on it the other day, and it helped some, but it really, I just need to throw it away. So it says that it's supposed to be delivered tomorrow. I hope so. This one is only probably, I don't know. I think I bought it when I first started working with paper, which was, I don't know, 2019 maybe? 2018? I don't know when. Probably in 2019 that I bought it. So it's old enough. I've gotten my money's worth out of it. And I actually think I've used a whole bottle of free inker in it. I'm backing this one with some leftover coffee dyed or tea dyed. I think this was coffee. So we're just going to do that. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue. Just because it comes out of the bottle a little bit more quickly than the other. Don't really need to use this much, but that's all right. And then I'm going to cut out around it. So I'm just gonna, I wasn't trying to line up the edges for one thing. That just sometimes takes a really long time. But this way, yeah, I don't know. It's just quicker. Yeah, I'm gonna get my little wet wipe and wipe my glue up. I'm keeping it on the back of my chair. And get this out of the way. All right. Make sure that's really good and stuck before I cut around it. It is the art glitter glue, so it dries really fast. And then I'm just going to use some scissors to cut around it. This image is really pretty. It would probably be good printed out in a bigger format as well, because the words are really small. It's not really meant to be such a small image, but you know, I'm putting it in a book, so it kind of has to be. All right. So this is going to end up being inside of this pocket here. I also have something for inside this one. So this one also from those purchase that I made on Etsy. I'm gonna go ahead and just ink around this one, make sure. Yeah. I'm printing on, a lot of these I'm printing on sort of a grayish. It's a very lightweight cardstock. I have no idea what the weight is because I've had it for a really long time. I don't know where it came from or anything like that. So, in fact, I was looking around yesterday for stuff to print on and I was like, oh. So yeah, I just didn't even remember that I had it. But I thought it's nice that it's not just bright white and I don't have to worry about, you know, toning down the back side of it so much. The only thing is sometimes if you're trying to print on something that's not white, the image doesn't come out as, you know, nice and pretty. Oh no, my sewing messes it up. Did you guys see that happening? That's all right, we'll fix it. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not. I'm going to cut down the top as well. Hopefully I can get the whole layout done in the length of time, you know, that we have. I don't like to make really long videos. I know it's not easy for people to always watch a really long video. But they can always put it in a faster speed. I was watching somebody the other day that they were putting part of their video in a faster speed, you know, so like when they were inking or doing something, okay, now it fits. It barely fits, but it fits. Okay, I will probably cut it down again just a little bit, but not make you guys sit and watch that. You'll get the idea. All right. So another thing that I wanted to do on this is cover the envelope flap, and I wanted to use this. I wrote on this earlier to try and see to cut it, and I don't know, maybe if I go back and forth. It was not easy. The pencil wasn't showing up real well. The pattern is kind of hard to, let's see. I'm going to cut inside the line so that there's a little bit of gap, and then hopefully that means I only have to cut it once. it. I believe it does. I might need to cut it down just a little bit across the top. Okay. There's a little pencil on the edge here, but it's fine. It's not going to be visible, especially after putting some black ink on it. I'm going to cover the inside too, but I'm not going to make you guys watch me cover the inside. I wouldn't be covering it at all, but I don't like the Hallmark sign there. And I went through the images that I have and things, and I was thinking, well, I could just cover it alone, and I couldn't find anything that I liked in what I have. So I decided to go ahead and cover the entire thing. So that is what we're going to do. I feel like I need to make the hole in this thing bigger, but then if I do that, the lid doesn't fit as well, and it like leaks into the lid because I keep it like this upside down. And then I'm constantly having to clean my lid out. Okay. I don't want the glue to get on the envelope. All right. Believe it or not, I do have a plan. It may not look like I do, but I'm trying to do it in a certain order so that we're not sitting and watching glue dry. All right, I'm gonna stitch again, but this time I'm gonna do a straight stitch, so it should go a little faster. Let's see. We'll go up here. I almost can't keep up with it. It goes so fast. Crazy, huh? Sometimes, you know, when you see somebody working in a factory, you know, like on TV or something, and they're sewing with one of those industrial things, and they're sewing leather that quickly and perfectly. It looks really cool. All right, get that out of the way. I don't think we're going to use that again. I don't remember. I'll know when I, you know, turn the page and see what I have planned. Okay. This one is black. Just ink around real quick. And a little glue stuck to my finger. I feel a sneeze coming on. I'm trying to stop it. Oh, don't sneeze. Okay. So this is going to go here. This will hold this down. But I want something up here because I don't know. That's just me. So let me find my pile. Let's see, I'm going to cut right there. Again, these are images that I got from Artist. These were not some that were on. Okay, it's since it's coffee dyed, it's got like waves and it's crooked and I'm the one that cut it out. So, you know, all right. I don't know what I was saying. Anyway, this is not something that I purchased. It was a gift. So I cannot, you know, link any Etsy shop for these. My words are not coming to me very easily today. Let me see if I have, it's already kind of, well, it's already, you know, coffee dyed, but I want it to be a little more sturdy. So I'm going to what am I going to do? I think what I'm going to do is that, and then I'll just cut around the edge. Trying to think of something wonderful to talk about. I haven't done anything in days. I literally, I mean, haven't left the house, so I don't really have anything exciting to share. We started watching Criminal Minds. Yes, it's the first time. I'm slow to, you know, join the party. I know that I think everybody has watched that and NCIS, and I've never watched any NCIS, and this will be the first of the Criminal Minds I've ever watched as well. For the longest time, my husband, he was like, I don't like crime shows. And so we just never watched them. And finally, you know, it's to the point where you can't ever find anything good on TV to watch, right? So we've started to watch TV shows on Netflix or on Prime. And, you know, we've gone through almost all of the sci-fi series and all that kind of thing that they have to offer, which we have enjoyed. And I think, you know, he liked it quite a bit. I like them too. I've always really liked the sci-fi TV series, but we watched them all. So, I mean, at some point, you know, it's like, well, Tim, the only thing left are the crime dramas. And so he has given a couple of them a shot, and he's like, oh, these aren't bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, all these years. But that's okay, really, because if we had been watching them all these years, then we wouldn't have anything to watch now. So. My friend Ardith had suggested that we watch Eureka. So we finished that just not too long ago, like a week ago or something like that. That was a really cute show. Pretty humorous. It is interesting to go from the humor, you know, and the silliness. But at the same time, you know, they're solving, you know, some sort of a mysterious occurrence each episode. So, but you're going from the humor to the seriousness of Criminal Minds. It's quite a change. All right. So, yeah, you guys, I like to have lots of flips. One of these days I'll make a journal with just pages because they're beautiful. But then, I don't know, for some reason I feel like I just can't leave a doggone page alone. Okay, so that goes like that, and that goes like that. I will cover this with this same paper, okay? The image that we have is here. I still need to ink the back of it. Okay. So that goes in there, and that goes like that. Actually, I'm not going to put you guys through this, but I'm going to add like a little tab, but I'll do that on my own. I do have this, however, that we'll add together, because this, when you open up the page, I want it to look like this, not like this. So in order to make that happen, I just made this little thing to stick right here to hold it down. So we're going to make a little mark where I want my hole. And kind of guess. So I'm going to move it that way just a little bit. These are really long. And so I am using these thingies to shorten them just a little bit. Of course, it makes a very, very sharp edge. So we're going to cover it. Okay, so that's going to go in there. And that's going to go there. And I want it like this. And like I say, it's a sharp edge, so I've got to use something to pry it open or it will cut me. Okay, so that will just open it like that. So I just want to make sure that it's nice and flat. Sometimes I take this of my pokey tool and just kind of push, and it kind of flattens it out. Okay, and I have some little things up here that are just kind of pre-cut out from a very old scrapbook paper set, and it will, you know, cover it. And it kind of blends. I didn't want it to be anything, you know, too crazy. There's enough going on. I just figure something blending in will be fine. then nobody gets hurt. Okay, and then this little thingy is one of those old Sizzix things. Let's see, I've got it here somewhere. I kept it out specifically to be able to show you. It's one of these. It's really old. I found it on Facebook Marketplace, I'm pretty sure. So that is where that came from. But you could make your own. Okay, so is that it on that page? I think it is. Do I have everything? How much time do we have? We're at 51 minutes. The only other thing that I'm going to do right now is I have some tickets that I found. Again, I don't remember. I found them on Etsy, but I don't remember from which shop. And I will find that information. Everything will be below. So I think I'm just going to line them up like that. And I have these printed out on the grayish paper so that the back isn't as bright white again. And then this one's going to be hanging off a little bit, so I'm just going to ink the edge of this one. And then I'm going to be using my little tiny attacher, but we're going to go ahead and glue a little bit too. I don't know, I just thought it'd be, you know, cute. I don't know. Industrial looking to have the staples. I'm kind of working off camera probably. I think we'll go this way. And my tiny attacher is somewhere on my desk, I think. In my desk? Yep. So I'm just going to put... Why didn't it work? Thick paper. Yeah, it doesn't want to go through the paper, you guys. It just... Well, I'll try and do another one. And then on this side, I'm going to cover this where I staple it. But there is what we have so far. So this opens up and this comes out. And then this opens up and this comes out. I'm going to cut that down a little bit more so it slides in and out of there more easily. I'll cover this. I'm going to add a tab here. This opens up. This comes out. All right. And then there's those little guys there. That is what we have so far. Okay, you guys, thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day. Bye.